Yo, let's get it, man. We got some more details again about David. Let's go.
People are finally addressing the big elephant in the room when it comes to this David and Celeste murder investigation, and that's Celeste's parents, Celeste's family. See, Nancy Grace went scorched earth on Celeste's family earlier today, and then the private investigator, Steve Fisher, did an interview with Jadeon where he sort of revealed some sketchy things involving Celeste's family as well.
What are you saying, Dave Mack? What are you saying till we find out what the next step is going to be? The next step is an indictment. That's the next step. The long body of this little girl.
Indictment on the family.
D4VD David Anthony Burke's Tesla, found one day after she would have turned 15.
Look at that little girl. She was just
13 years old in the 7th grade when her family reported her missing. She was with D4VD, and after that, they never said another word.
They don't even care.
Nothing.
God
Where
damn.
have they been all this time?
That's what I've been saying, Grace.
The only ones banging the drums.
Exactly, Grace. Thank you, Grace.
Private given.
Shit.
This is very odd behavior on the parents'
Thank you. Yes, it's
never issuing
odd.
a public plea, never thanking the LAPD
Holy
for
shit.
finding their girl.
Finally, somebody speaking up about it. She finally saying something that I've been saying for the longest too. Why haven't the family been involved in none of it? I'm talking about nothing. Like, where's the family? Hey, police need to come on, man. For real.
Demanding justice. I'd be laying on the front steps of the courthouse.
Shit is crazy.
Screaming
exactly.
for justice.
If that was my look, if that was my daughter, man, god damn it. Man, I'm trying to tell you, I'll go to hell and back for this shit. You got me fucked up. I'm crashing the fuck out. Bro. I'm gonna have to do what I gotta do. Consequences, hey, I'm going all in for mine. You got me fucked up.
Radio silent. And now an indictment is set to go down, and they're what? What? Where are they?
Yeah, it's incomprehensible, the fact that there hasn't been a large outcry from her family.
Shit is crazy,
Fair
bro.
point, but also unfair. Now, grief come in different ways. People grieve in different ways.
I don't think it's
not
that.
at the stage yet where I have enough information to where I'm ready to go complete scorched earth on the family. But
man, I'm going crazy on the family. Fuck
Celeste's
that.
body was first discovered. The mom gave a statement to the police, and the mom says that she had a boyfriend named David. So that would show they was aware of the relationship with Celeste and David. Now, were they aware how old David was? Were they aware? The mom used the term boyfriend. I'm using the term victim. Celeste was David's victim. Right? David was Celeste's perpetrator. So I don't consider this a relationship, right? She was groomed.
It's not a relationship.
But if the family knew David's age, and they knew that Celeste was involved in a relationship with David.
What?
Oh, lock all of them up.
Lock their ass up. Lock the fuck.
We've seen this exact same play with R. Kelly. Moms and parents were bringing their underage kids to R. Kelly and allowing R. Kelly to be with them because they wanted to benefit financially. So if this is what went on, lock up all of them and arrest them all. But we don't know
their ass up.
We don't know the full details of that. So we have to reserve our judgment.
Man, nah. That shit dead. Lock their ass up and throw away the key. We got full proof because they ain't came out and said shit. Grievement, hell nah. Nah. Not me. Not me, Chad.
So Steve Fisher spoke on the family, and I'll be real, Steve Fisher said a lot without fully getting to where he wanted to go. So the first red flag that popped up in my head that really stuck out, Steve Fisher said initially LAPD was putting out statements like, we don't know if this is a murder or a homicide. This could have very well been just, concealing the body inappropriately. Celeste could have died on her own and then they just panicked and hide the body. We don't know yet. So the homeowner
And
stepped
cut
in,
up.
right? You know,
So
the
what
house that
about the
David
cut
was
up, the
renting.
dismantle
They stepped
part?
in and they hired Steve Fisher, the private investigator.
Right.
Steve Fisher, who was tasked with discovering whether or not Celeste was murdered or if she took her own life, contacted the family. And according to Steve Fisher, he contacted the family, but it was almost impossible to get in touch with them, right? And he felt like he was badgering them at some point, and he just stopped. I don't know any family who wouldn't be super receptive to any help.
That's what I'm saying. That shit is weird, Chad.
If the police is putting out information of she may not have been murdered, she may have, done it to herself, and then a private investigator saying, hey, I'm here to investigate whether or not she was murdered, I don't know any family that wouldn't be receptive to that help.
Right.
But apparently Celeste's family wasn't too receptive.
Celeste's family never got in touch with you to find her before.
Look at this shit.
The reason why you got involved was because the owners of the house had cops coming through their house, investigating stuff, and they just didn't know what was happening.
Yeah, no, I've never been in touch with her family. I've tried. I didn't want to push them hard though, so I haven't really followed up more. But yeah, so the owners were very. It's never had anything to do with value of the house or loss of value or anything. It's had to do with they wanted to understand what happened there because they have kids around that age, and they wanted to know if, on even a spiritual level, if they could go back in that house. It was really hard for them to fathom, if it happened there, or even in fact, even that didn't happen there. Just the fact that it's tied to it, they have some real decisions to make, and they're from out of the country, and so they don't really understand the laws and everything. So they said, "Listen, we want to find out what happened." They wanted to know what the truth was, and they wanted to make sure that Celeste, got justice if she needed to get justice. Because remember, at that time too, they're telling us there might not be any crime here beyond concealment of a body, which was never true. I don't know why LAPD came out and said that, but they were making it sound like this might have been like an overdose or something, and they made a bad decision. There was nothing like that. It was never anything like that. This was a guy who's a predator. I don't know why it took this long to get where we're at.
Exactly.
Finally, pure justice is coming, and it doesn't seem like there was this real urge.
It's about goddamn time, though.
Maybe the
sense of urgency.
Yes,
they didn't
These
care.
are questions, not accusations.
They didn't
until
care.
we know more information, or until we know certain things are facts. But why wouldn't the family want to get involved, or want to meet, or want to be in touch with somebody who's trying to get their daughter justice?
Right.
Especially if the police is at this point saying, we don't know if it's a murder investigation, and the private investigator is saying, I'm gonna find out and prove it's a murder.
Exactly. Right. Shit, I'm like, okay, sir. Okay, all right.
Whatsoever, it's inconsistent.
Yeah, thank you.
We would expect.
I'm a child.
Right?
What the fuck is going on?
Now, the part that really tripped me out is, and this is more proof that this relationship with Celeste and David was not a secret, was somebody from Celeste's school, or near the school, or association with the school, from their little community. When she first went missing, somebody contacted David's management and let them know, hey, there's rumors that your artist is involved with her being missing. Please return her back to her family.
But it was no secret that she was with him. In fact, somebody close to the situation, her family, the school where she was going, wrote his management by email and said, paraphrasing it, there's a rumor that David might be involved in the disappearance of 13-year-old, Celeste Rivas Hernandez. If that's true, please make sure she gets home quickly. And she got home. She arrived the next day. And that email was received by his management company, and they did send it to him. I have proof of that. He was aware of it. So then she arrives back home, but then she runs away again. He was grooming her. He's a predator. And this is not the only girl he's involved with. It was underage. When Celeste ran away on Valentine's Day, she showed up in the area. Oh, this is the exact same day that they're actually taking possession of the new house that they rented, my client's house.
Yes, sir.
Of course, my client doesn't. My client thinks it's Josh Marshall, his manager, but they take possession of it. So on that day, he's got Celeste runs away that day, and she's at the old house, the one where they did that live stream, delete everything, and he's got another minor at the new house, a mile and a half away. And I've got
this nigga, this nigga definitely Ted Bundy.
Kind of all knew about there being a new minor.
This nigga crazy.
How old was this other minor that David was dealing with?
She was 16 and 17. This
Wow.
was going on for a while.
Celeste and David was not a secret. If somebody who has some type of affiliation with Celeste's school knew, parents would know as well.
Got this
And if the
motherfucker.
parents knew, why is there no reports of the parents talking to the police about David and Celeste? Why is there nothing that's coming out where, hey, brother, parents been reported David for being inappropriate with their daughter? Now, Steve Fisher will say that the parents were reporting Celeste as a missing kid to cover their tracks from his perspective, because she was never really missing. They knew exactly where she was at, and she would come and go. Like, she would come for like family events and then leave and be with David
Leave.
and be on tour and be with him for months on end. So was she really missing if they knew where she was and she was coming back and forth?
Man, it
No,
don't
she
matter.
wouldn't be a
She
missing
was
child. So
with
why was she
he was with a
reported missing?
minor.
And they kept her as a missing child. According to Steve Fisher, he believes that that's because, that's to get CPS from off their tracks, to get the school from off their tracks, because if she's not reported missing, well, CPS and the school is asking, why is she not at school? Why is she not present? Why haven't we heard from her, right? And that would have started more issues.
To the timeline, so I didn't know this. So it was January 2025 when that last year happened, or 2024?
Well, she'd been gone well over a year when this was going down. I believe that live stream was 2024, January 2024. Then she starts. Then in February, is when and then there's runaways, and then getting into around Valentine's Day, she runs away again, and then it's a year. It's well over a year that she's gone before we now know that this happened, according to prosecutors, in April of 2025. So she's gone a very long time. And that's been the whole thing, is piecing this together. Where exactly was she? Because we didn't really have evidence that we had evidence that she had been to the house, but not that she was like living at the house. And David would travel a lot for concerts or whatever.
And she'd just be at the house, right?
Nobody would stay there. So we're like, where was she in all this time? And then we find out that she wasn't truly a runaway. That's the part that's upsetting to me too, is that her family knew where she was, and she'd shown up for like her cousin's high school graduation. She showed up at a family event. There's a video out there of her arguing with the next door neighbors in the apartment complex next to her house, all while she's supposedly a missing person. And so it's all very frustrating. There's a lot of things, a lot of failures around her. And I understand she's probably a handful. I get that. But the thing is, she's a kid. That's part of being a parent. She needed direction, she needed like a direction in life. And it's not okay. They knew who he was. And it's just, I don't care how rich he is. I don't care how famous he's becoming. I don't care he's living in a mansion and he can afford to support her. It's not okay.
Make no mistake about it. If
It's
that's
definitely
true,
not.
they should 100% be in the next cell next to David. We see this with R. Kelly, but just like R. Kelly, the parents are never held accountable if this is true.
Never held accountable for shit.
When R. Kelly got arrested, the women came out and they said, "Oh, my mom dropped me off to R. Kelly.
Look at this.
My mom was the one who arranged this." The parents never got picked up, right? Because the police don't usually go after parents, because usually the parents are a crucial part of the investigation. In this situation, it's just hard for me to imagine that this little girl was missing for a year plus, and if she was with David for a year plus and the police never got involved, the police never went to David, and the mom knew her quote unquote boyfriend was David, and they never told the police, hey, she's at David, go ahead and get her.
That's crazy, man.
But as we seen, she was going back and forth. We got the video of her arguing with her neighbors. And that was like months after she was reported missing. So Steve Fisher is telling the truth. And in regards to, they seen her go back and forth after she was reported missing. But if they intentionally reported her missing, so the police and the school system and CPS can get off of their tail for her not being at school and doing certain...
It's some bullshit.
We got to start having some tougher conversations.
It's some bullshit.
Listen, I agree. The parents need to be held accountable.
I was just about to ask that, because one thing about the parents is
they definitely need to be held accountable.
They don't always have to say something, you know what I mean? The family has to grieve.
But in these cases, they do.
Where the only statement I know that's out there is that the mother just said that she had a boyfriend named David. That's the only statement from the family that I've ever heard that is verified from them. So my question was gonna be do you think the family is as quiet as they are because they knew who David was and they knew who she was going to.
Yeah.
And you don't
I
really
agree.
see too much of an intervention between them.
I mean, yes, I have proof that family members have been.
I definitely agree with that.
Have been with David and Celeste.
Wait, her family has been to his house?
Family members. Like I have. Listen, one of the first things I put down in this case was a build. We know that David and Celeste were at Six Flags on a certain date, and we found a Build-A-Bear certificate from the Build-A-Bear place in Six Flags in her cousin's name at the house. You know, so it's like, wait a minute. So she wasn't really missing. You know what? You want to know, in my opinion, what the missing persons report was about? It was to cover their ass so CPS didn't come in and say, "Hey, she's not going to school. What's up?" If she's a missing person, you say she's not going to the school because she's a missing person. You know, then you don't have CPS in your life at that moment. You know, and I sympathize. I guarantee. I know that they are. I know that they're grieving. I know they lost a daughter, but
man,
like it's. You couldn't.
I don't even think they grieved.
Been allowed to be. She was gone a year and a half, man.
I really don't think
a year and a half. Like somebody should have said, you know, maybe we shouldn't be letting Celeste live her own life like this.
Right.
I don't care how much money he has, how famous he is.
Hey, fuck all that shit.
They don't think that's that huge of an age gap. I don't care. That these are the laws.
You should be dealing with a little girl.
And she's,
I don't care how much money you have.
She was not 15 like it says on her death certificate. She turned 15 the day before she was found in the Tesla. She'd been in that Tesla a long time. She was 13 and 14 years old when this was happening.
Grown family members are showing up to David's mansion where Celeste be at. They're well aware this grown man with a mansion is hanging out.
100% aware.
And, you know, they think it's normal. And they're hanging out and they're not saying nothing. David is pulling up with his Tesla at Celeste's crib to pick her up. And they know this. Yo, fam, if a dude, first off, you don't even got to know the age. If a dude who is driving a Tesla is pulling up to pick up your 13-year-old daughter, you know what you do? You call the police.
Oh, word, boy.
But yet, we'll be the bad people for asking.
Stop playing.
This don't sound right.
Hey, the family need to be locked up. They need to be held accountable for, you know what I'm saying, and what's going on, bro. Enough said, man, for real. Because if it was me, if it was my kid, I'm trying to tell y'all, boy, I'll probably be locked up somewhere. That shit cooked.